Hello, West Michigan. We're visiting at Tanglewood. We were here a few weeks ago, and we came back because we found by digging that there was much more information to be brought to the public. And today we have with us Maggie Jansen, and you are with what part?
I am with the agency called Senior Resources, and we are your local area agency on aging.
Well, I'm in the right place then. I'm aging, and so are you.
I am too.
Except that you're a long way away from me. But some of the things that are being brought to the notice of the public are what's available, because seniors are kind of an independent group of people. They stand on their own and they don't want anybody telling them what to do. So when it comes to asking questions and learning what's available, they kind of stand back. They need to be hit on the head. And you're going to hit the inside of their head with a lot of information.
Well, the interesting thing, you're exactly right. I think, and rightly so, a lot of older adults are suspicious. They feel like everybody is out to sell them something or almost to take advantage of them in some way. They feel vulnerable.
There are more scams than you can shake a fist at, and they all go for the senior citizens because they think they got a patsy.
Yeah, and they don't, because senior citizens are a lot more savvy than people give them credit for. But at the same time, senior citizens want to know, where can they go and have somebody just be neutral and give them the facts. Just tell me, am I eligible for a program, am I not? Or if I need to purchase my own services, what's a fair price?
Yes.
Now, who's good? Or if I have to look at a nursing home, how do I find out what nursing home has a good record? Where do I go for fair and unbiased information? And the interesting thing, John F. Kennedy, back in his presidency, he had the vision of creating across the nation a network of area agencies on aging. So no matter what county an older adult or their family or caregiver was in, there would be a number to call for unbiased, comprehensive information. And so unfortunately, John F. Kennedy was killed before he signed it into law. But one of the first things Lyndon B. Johnson did was to sign into law the fact that there would be this network across the nation called Area Agencies on Aging. So anywhere you can go in the nation, you can plug into an agency like ours.
And isn't that something to be proud of?
It's really proud of. I just had a phone call last night from one of my college roommates whose neighbor is an elderly man, but taking care of his very elderly mother. And he said, he was telling her, he goes, I have to get an attorney. I have to get an attorney to figure out, am I eligible for Medicaid? How do I care for my mother? I'd better hire an attorney. And I said to my friend, oh no. I said, you need to call your local area agency on aging, and they will help you navigate this. And they will sit down and help him figure this out with no charge. This is what your tax dollars have paid for, is this network. She goes, well, how would I get the number? And this is a great thing for your show. Computers are great. iPhones are great. You can Google, search on the word elder care locator.gov. So if you think I'm trying to find elder care, eldercarelocator.gov. Up comes the screen, you type in what zip code are you looking for services in. You could type in the zip code in Honolulu, Hawaii, and it's going to show you our affiliate, Area Agency on Aging, serving Honolulu, Hawaii. It's fabulous because how many of us have family living in other states? This is the way
yes.
families are now.
They're scattered all over.
Yep, and so now you've got this wonderful point of entry that you can connect to this wonderful service agency anywhere.
And if you talk to a senior citizen, it takes them a little while before they'll warm up to you and tell you anything, because they will not trust you at the start.
This is so true. And our new brochure, it's funny you said that, Mary, because our new brochure, look what it says. Tell us your story. And so that's what we want to do when people call senior resources. We want to listen. Because you're right. And we need to understand the situation. What's going on? And then once we fully understand the situation, are you a veteran? Are you the widow of a veteran? Are you this? Are you that? We know the questions to ask and to talk. Then we can sit down and talk about, what are some options available to you. Can I brag a minute?
Sure, go right ahead. We need to have you do that.
You know how I talked about that there's the network of over
Yes.
600 agencies. Well, once a year, the network comes together for a huge conference, and we talk about what's going on at the federal level for older adults and our state levels, and we share and help each other out and strengthen the network. Well, this year in July, the meeting is in Dallas, Texas. Well, they put out an opportunity for area agencies. If you think you're doing something awesome, you think you have something that others could benefit from, share that with us. So on a whim, I entered this book that we created. It's called Options for Long-Term Care. And inside this book, so many people just want facts. What does it take to be eligible for Medicaid? If you're in a nursing home, what are the rules with Medicare and a nursing home? If I'm a vet, who do I call? Or if I'm going to get a home care company in, what's a fair hourly rate for people? All in here, all in one spot. So not only did we compile this book, but we put it on our website. So this entire book can be read, or any single page printed off and downloaded right at our website. And then this book cost us about $5 to print and produce. Well, we contacted our provider agencies, because a lot of our in-home services are done by agencies like Alliance Home Health Care, Comfort Keepers, Mercy VNS and Hospice. We have over 90 local businesses that we work with to deliver services. Asked them if they wanted to donate to make this book happen and be listed in the back. They said yes. So the book is printed and free of charge to senior resources or to the individual getting it because of these businesses. So we submitted this to the national conference as we thought this was a pretty good idea. And guess what? We won a National Achievement Award for this little book.
You need to get up and take a bow.
Yeah, well, I'm not going, but the executive director, the CEO of Senior Resources, Pam Curtis, will be in Dallas, and she will stand up and she will take a bow, and she will get national recognition. And we're hoping across the nation, other agencies might say, hey, it's very replicable.
If they pay attention to it at all. What the younger people haven't figured out yet, because they've not gone through it. There are so many people with bad sight, very bad hearing, and they've slowed down to such a point that they're not out paying attention to the world go around in its orbit. And the book will help.
Right.
And along with a suspicion that they're not too sure whom they can trust.
Right.
And you're right that they think they have to have an attorney for everything,
Right.
and
It's
you
not so.
don't.
You don't. And I think here we are in our town. We've been here serving for over 40 years. And somebody has said, you know, you're the best kept secret. Nobody knows you're here. I think Tanglewood Park has helped alleviate that a lot because people understand that we're here at 560 Seminole Road. And our hope is that people think, if I just go to Tanglewood Park or walk in that door, they're going to know where to point me. And we usually do, even if it's just 211.
But you know what you have to tell them? You have to tell them, did you ever trade at the D&W store? Well, that's where they are.
That's right.
And in the meantime, they probably moved way out somewhere else. So they don't shop in that area, so they lose track of it.
I like to tell people, because yes, we're the former D&W grocery store. If people remember where the bags of potatoes and birdseed were, and if you ever shop there, you know where I'm talking. That's where my office is.
Yeah, and they give you a kind of a funny look.
Yeah.
It
But-
is?
Yeah, and it's hard to believe because really the facility was gutted out and redesigned
Yes.
to house the 4 agencies.
Well,
and there's a big expansion going on,
Well-
and I'm sure your next guest is going to talk about that from Life Circles, that this building here is going to be added on to.
We all want to age gracefully and maintain our independence and dignity for as long as we live. Yet, we all fear becoming disabled, dependent, and at risk of having to live in a nursing home. Navigating the world of senior services can be overwhelming to anyone of any age. Senior Resources is your local area agency on aging. Our mission is to serve as your compass to locate needed services such as senior housing, home health care, respite care, and ongoing care management needs. If you are seeking advice on services that will help you or a loved one continue living at home, call the elder care experts at Senior Resources, 739-5858. Senior Resources, we're with you every step of the way. Located in Tanglewood Park, 560 Seminole Road, Muskegon.
Which would you rather do, this or this? We thought so. For the jobs nobody likes to do, Batka's cleaning service.
Serving the Fruitport area for over 40 years, Grover Pharmacy offers a full line of vitamins, supplements, and homeopathic medicines, as well as a variety of glucometers, blood pressure kits, baby care items, bandages, and wound care products. They carry office and school supplies, Russell Stover candies, promotional and seasonal items, and Hallmark cards and gifts. Grover Pharmacy, they take time to care about you.
Well, that is something, but if you ask a man or a woman who's 30 to 40 years old how far they've planned ahead,
Right.
you'll probably be shocked because they won't be as far as they should be.
I noticed Governor Snyder has got a kind of a vision for Michigan, and it's interesting you said that because I think more and more we're realizing that we're not preparing young adults or middle-aged adults to really consider the fact how long you're going to live. Back to the fact that the fastest growing age group are people who are making it to 100 years old. So when you think of working and saving resources, you need to think that you are going to potentially and hopefully live a viable, good quality life for a long, long time. And you need to be starting that savings and
That
that.
plan needs
Yes.
to be the first thing you do.
Yep. So it's
And
so
you do
important.
need a guide throughout the years because everything changes every day.
Right. Yeah.
And you have to keep ahead of the changes.
Yeah. So we're just proud to be that resource for people that they can at least start here, and we'll get them pointed in the right direction. I heard one of our support coordinator on the phone the other day with an individual. I was walking by, and he was chatting with them, and the person must have been asking him what is your mission? What's your purpose at Senior Resources? And what he said just tickled me, because we like to say the fancy words. We're all about lifelong dignity and independence. He said, everything we do is to keep you out of a nursing home facility, to keep you in the preferred home environment that you want. And I said, that's really what it's all about. And I don't mean to be saying one negative thing about a nursing facility. They have their purpose, particularly for rehabilitating and everything. But if you did a poll of people, where do they want to live out their last days? It's not in a nursing home facility.
Of course not.
They want to have choice about where they do that and how they do that.
That's what I meant. Stubborn, independent people.
Right.
And they are the lifeblood of our country.
Absolutely. The greatest generation is what we're dealing with right now. And
I like that.
and
Well,
it's
you
true.
know, the country has changed over, let's say, 100 years. Amazingly enough, it has more to offer us now than it had way back then.
Yes.
And there are so many new things that any and everybody can
And it's
get
hard to
into
keep
and
on,
master.
hard to keep on top of it all. Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, we talked about the greatest generation, and the people who are mostly in their late 80s right now, and they're wonderful. But we can't forget, and for your viewers, people who are just turning 65 and just entering Medicare and just entering the system, they really need to think about us as a resource. For example, next week we're having a class here called Medicare 101, and it's free. People could just come in and they're going to walk through all the ins and outs of Medicare and the different options that you have. Again, totally free. No one's trying to sell you a supplement or anything like that, because we're your area agency on aging. So rather than go to one of those classes you see advertised by a health insurance provider,
Oh,
because they're going to
yes.
want you to pick their supplement, come to the Medicare 101 here and just get all the facts.
And you get to choose. No one will try to talk you into something.
Nope. No, and we have over 30 trained Medicare, Medicaid counselors that serve our 3-county region. In the course of a year, our Medicare, Medicaid counselors will talk to over 8,000 older adults about their benefits. And you're exactly right. And what they'll do is, again, tell them your story, because some people are on a lot of medications. Some people aren't on very many. Some people are disabled in some way. Some aren't. They plug all that information into the computer, and the computer comes up and shows them, probably you've got 3 to 4 top options that fit your situation. And you're right, the individual chooses. The Medicare counselors are never going to suggest. They're just going to show, but again, we're all about your options.
Well, when they turn up with a menu,
Mm-hmm.
and you can look that through, you'll always find several things
Right.
where you can choose.
Yep.
Then it's up to you to decide as an individual which suits me the most, which will benefit me the most,
Right.
and will I be happy with it?
Yeah.
Because we want to see the senior citizen with a big grin on their face, corners up.
Absolutely. Because what you're just saying is, sometimes, because no system is perfect, some people come up with some issues and challenges with their Medicare, or something's wrong and they get very frustrated trying to solve a problem. Again, that's another reason to come here, make an appointment to see one of these, we call them MAP counselors, because they're going to help you navigate that system that can be absolutely overwhelming. We've had people come in here in tears, so frustrated about trying to iron out a problem. Wonderful service.
And when they left,
Right.
the lips curved up.
That's absolutely.
And they're at peace.
Yes. Yeah.
Because seniors do worry about their future.
Right.
And in fact, people who are approaching 65 are beginning to see some of these things, and they're wondering, oh, how is that going to hit me?
Yeah.
Am I going to have enough to go on?
Mm-hmm.
That's when they need to turn up well in advance
Yeah.
and see how things are sitting.
Yeah. The best case scenario, we're all going to live long, healthy lives, and part of that living long and healthy is planning ahead. Old age gets here sooner than you think, doesn't it, Mary?
Yes, well, they say time flies,
It does.
and it flies when you're busy.
Yeah.
You don't, nothing else keeps you going but what you have to do. And then all of a sudden, you have a birthday come up and it scares the living daylights out of you.
And some things I think that catch us all by surprise is, perhaps we have spouses or family members, and suddenly we're in the role of caregiving for them. Suddenly
We
we're
all
caregiving.
learn sooner or later that it isn't just you, it's somebody else, whether it's a parent, a brother, a sister,
That
an
needs
aunt, an
some care.
uncle.
And we have a lot of, again, programs here that are free to support the caregiver. We have a family caregiver support workshop starting in August, on August 8th, here at Tanglewood Park, free of charge, and it will even take care of respite care if their loved one is so frail that they can't be left alone, so that they come to the class. The grant, our funding, will provide free respite care so they can come to that 5-week workshop, and that will be on Friday starting August 8th. Now, people do need to call us and get registered and make
I
arrangements.
guess this is the first thing. Do you know how to use a telephone?
Right.
Can
Call.
you remember this number?
Right, and I wrote the main number that I would like people to call is 733-3585. So 733-3585, because that goes into a brand new department that we've started, and there's 4 wonderful elder care specialists that will listen to your story and again talk about those options. We call them options counselors, and they know all about the classes that we have coming up, and they can know all about the Medicare, Medicaid assistance program and classes that are coming up for that. They can even help people with Medicaid applications.
With 3 convenient locations, Jack's Corner Store is one-stop shopping at its best. Tools, fresh meats, produce, chips, snacks, and other grocery items, beer, wine, and liquor, even gas and lottery. That's why Jack's is your corner store, and so much more.
Buckwheat Schultz and Associates Incorporated. Investment products and services. For more information, call 799-9889 or 866-799-9889.
Your vehicle is an important part of your life. It gets you where you need to go. Take care of it by bringing it to Van's Car Wash and Quick Lube. At Van's Quick Lube, every vehicle gets up to 6 quarts of high-quality Quaker State oils, new oil filter, and a free car wash with every service. If you need a quick wash that is done right the first time, then stop by any convenient Van's Car Wash and experience the hand-scrubbed and Simonized difference. Keep your car running and looking great at Van's Car Wash and Quick Lube. 6 convenient locations, 1 near you.
And one of the other lines we use with our options counselors is anybody can call Senior Resources. We exist for every older adult, their family, and caregiver in Muskegon County. Income is not an issue. Being on the phone, getting information and assistance from us is a free service to everybody. Now, some programs have a government benefit that can
Yes.
be added onto it according to income, but they're going to help you understand that no matter what. We want people to use what resources they do have efficiently and effectively, and not to be wasteful with the income that you've saved a lifetime for, then how do I get the services I need at the best possible cost to meet my needs?
And without me having to travel umpteen miles.
Right.
When it can be locally obtained,
Yeah.
it seems much, I can't even put a word on that right now, but they begin to think, well, that's my hometown. How come I didn't know about that?
Right, these are services. And back to our website, which is real easy to find, Senior Resources, WMI, that stands for Senior Resources West Michigan. If you go to our website, there's a tab at the top, and one of the tabs says Our Partners. And if you go to that tab and click on it, remember I talked about we do business with over 90 local senior serving companies, all listed there, all phone numbers, all websites, right at your fingertips. So our website is a huge resource.
And
for
it's
people.
something
They
that
need to go look and
anybody can
explore.
get into.
Absolutely. Just start going across those tabs and all types of information up there for you.
Well, what would happen if you just punched one button, just grab one button, and
Just start. Yeah, because you can't go wrong. You just keep.
no matter
yeah.
which one you
Yeah.
press, you're
One of
going to
the-
get somebody to answer questions,
You're going to get
and
information.
they'll guide you to the right path.
Yep.
And yes, and that is something that we really need to get over to the seniors.
So I like to always say, go to the website, Senior Resources, WMI.org, or if you don't have a pen and paper to write our number down, which is 733-3585, always remember that you can simply dial 211, and the 211 operators are going to get you to one of our options counselors. So you can't go wrong.
Well, three numbers are easier to remember than the whole thing.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
it's a starting point, and once they get to the starting point, they're hooked.
Right.
Because they know this is where I can go for information and not be told that I'm a dumb buddy.
And we want to be with people every step of the way.
And they do appreciate it because senior citizens, some are very suspicious, some are too trusting, and we're trying to get them into the middle
Right.
from both sides.
Right.
And they do need help. And the fact, and this is a nonprofit deal.
Right.
This is something I always tell people. We're not paying for this through our taxes, and it's not paying for advertising. And there are more volunteer hours put in through this conglomeration here at Tanglewood than you can shake a fist at.
And you can shake a fist at. And I guess the ones that really just kind of take my breath away are those Medicare, Medicaid assistance counselors, because they have to be so educated. They have so much training on how to help people navigate. And then they have to have a lot of computer knowledge, but then they have to like working with people and helping people
Okay.
problem solve.
Well,
They're
we-
the best volunteers.
You got somebody in nursing, and they also are computer literate, and they love people. You got three things right there.
Right,
So you've got three careers in one.
right.
And there's always a fourth one waiting outside somewhere. And yes, and this is what, and people helping one another.
Right, right.
Because after all, we're all part of a big community that encompasses the whole globe.
Right.
And how long have you been with Senior Resources?
I've been with Senior Resources 9 years. And actually, I started with them when they were over on Sherman Boulevard in Muskegon Heights.
Yes.
And actually, I was brought on board to help facilitate the move over here and renovate the D&W building into the Tanglewood Park building, raise the community dollars that we needed to change it from a grocery store to a 4-agency senior center. So that was very exciting.
I remember all the stuff on Sherman Boulevard. There was a little here, a little there.
Yeah.
Every bit of things, and all kinds of things were going on. and people were really enthused over it because they were getting help
Right.
that they never thought we'd have, because as the world turns, we end up with having depression years or recession years, which are supposed to be much less,
Yeah.
but aren't. And there's always somebody who needs help,
Always.
because things go wrong, whether we try very hard to do them right, but that's part of
They
living.
could be going good for you and maybe not so good for a next door neighbor. And then that's what I'm hoping we can learn is tell your neighbor about Tanglewood Park. Tell your people at church about senior resources. Say this is where you need to start to get help.
And what I tell them, call 211.
That's perfect.
You'll get answers.
That's perfect.
And they say, well, I need to this or that. Ask for it. They'll give you the answers.
Thank you, Mary.
Now, could we take a short break?
For years, people have put together photo collages for special occasions. They go through the photo album and old shoe boxes and pull out their favorite photos and put them on poster boards. The boards are a great way of sharing stories, but it can be a pretty tedious job. Well, we here at Clocks, we want to make that job easier for you. So just bring us all the photos and we'll scan them into the computer, and then we'll print out the collages on our large format printer. That way, all the photos will be in digital format so you can share them with your friends and relatives.
Living healthy is more than just counting carbs and exercising, it's a lifestyle choice. Embrace sound, natural alternatives, cultivate and sustain a better way to healthy living. The Health Hut offers a wide selection of vitamins, minerals, herbs, medicinal mushrooms, women's and men's supplements, as well as a vast array of skincare and beauty products. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always on hand to help you choose the products that best suit your individual needs. The Health Hut. We have your good health in mind.
In the 150 years we've been in business, many things have changed. Our greatest achievements are rooted in the things that haven't. Years ago, the person you called banker was also the person you called friend. When it came to service, there were fewer layers and friendlier smiles. And banks earned the trust of their customers and community while working tirelessly not to lose it. At Independent Bank, all this remains true today. Sure, we've made advances that help customers bank more conveniently and more comfortably. But at the end of the day, we know that people really need a trustworthy partner committed to their financial goals, dreams, and aspirations. And we've been happy to be that partner since 1864.
Well, we're back at Tanglewood, and we have with us Amy Williams. And what is your particular job here?
I work for Life Circles, which is the program of all-inclusive care for the elderly. I do the intake and the marketing. So I'm responsible for getting what I think is the best kept secret out into Muskegon and Northern Ottawa counties. The best kept secret is our program. So I do the marketing. I go out and I do a lot of education to the communities. And then I also do the intake process, which means that I take all of the phone calls of people who might be interested in the program, and I help them get ready to come into the program. So that's what I do. I work specifically for Life Circles here.
Well, I know that with all of the 4 big parts, you all work together as one. And I look forward to seeing this place grow.
And grow we are, yes.
Well, the senior citizen group is growing, and this has to grow with it.
You are right.
And you just can't get rid of those oldsters.
We don't want to get rid of those oldsters. We love those oldsters. Our program is actually, you're exactly right in that there are 4 different agencies in Tanglewood Park, but we all work very well together. And I think the unique thing about Tanglewood Park is that I think almost no matter what somebody might need as a senior, you can probably find it here. Whether it is exercise classes or art classes or home and care in the home or like our program does care here at the center, as well as care in the home. So the PACE program, PACE is actually a model of healthcare. It sort of includes the social model and the medical model of care. So we have a day center here that's open Monday through Friday. We provide all of the transportation here and to the home, and then to any medical appointments. So we pick people up right at their doors. We bring them in. They spend the day here with us. We have activities in our day center. We have therapies, physical, speech, and occupational therapy. We have a medical clinic right here, so we provide all of the primary care. We have 2 doctors on staff, and we're adding a 3rd in August, so we're very excited about that. We have Dr. Flick and Dr. Hagert currently, and then Daniel Caldwell and Tom Langdon are our physician assistants. So we provide all of the primary medical care right here on site, and that includes dental, hearing, and vision services. They come right here. We do all of the foot care, because we all need to take care of our feet. We do any wound care that might be needed. We have a wound care nurse who comes right here on site. So we do all of that right here at the center, and then we also have home care that can go right into the home and help with things like personal care, light housekeeping, laundry, changing the sheets, light meal preparation, everything to help somebody stay at home.
Whether it's large or small.
Whether it's large or small.
And I don't mean the house, whatever has to be done.
Right.
You've got your hand in everything.
Yes,
And
we do
yes,
have our hand in everything.
this is what they need.
But the person still remains in control. And I think that's the important thing to remember, is that we have our hand in a lot of areas in our participants' lives, but we don't take control. We want that person, we call them participants, we call our seniors our participants. We want them to be telling us what they want, what they're comfortable with. They drive our team that's helping them stay at home.
And you're right on that, because oldsters are often called stubborn.
I think you know what you
And I call
want.
it self-reliance,
Mm-hmm.
because they've done it all their lives.
And as a senior, you know what you want. You've given this a lot of thought, and you know what you want your current life to look like, as well as maybe the end of your life. And
That's
so
correct.
we want to be part of that team. We don't want to take control over it. We want to make recommendations, and if the recommendations seem right to that person, then we'll do that. If they don't feel right, then we may need to alter the plan a little bit. But we have 11 different disciplines that are all working towards that same goal, and that is typically helping someone stay in their own home. But we have people like, of course, the doctors and the nurses and the therapists. We have recreational therapy. We have our home health aides. We have our nursing aides in the day center. We have registered dietitians. We have pharmacists. All these people, and more that I'm sure I'm not, social work, home care nurses, all these people are working so our participants can stay happy and healthy and have the best quality of life that they can have.
Well, where else can you call 211 and get answers right away?
You can call 211, absolutely, and they will get you to the Life Circles program.
And in fact, some that I have talked to in the older years, they don't know where to go for information, and I have passed 211 on to them, because it's a
You're right.
start. And
You're
once
right.
they learn that they're not going to be shoved away, they'll be there for whatever they need.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Or if someone's interested in the Life Circles program specifically, which is the program that I work for, they can call 733-8655, and that will come directly into our office. There's no obligation, just call and get some information. That's all there. It's just a phone call. And if we're not the right agency, if we're not the right program, we will refer on, because we want any caller to get the information that they're needing. We want the right resource to go to them.
Is your loved one's health failing? Do they need the aid and attendance of other people for their daily living activities? Were they a veteran? If so, it is possible that they are eligible for a special pension called Aid and Attendance through the Veterans Administration that will assist in paying for their health care needs. There are 4 eligibility factors to consider, and you can find out if your loved one is eligible for any of these benefits just by making a phone call to elder law attorney Anna Duggins. She can be reached at 231-722-5415, or you can email her at aud@parmenterlaw.com.
And I think that's one of the strongest points of our program is everybody on our team, our agency, Life Circles, is very person driven. We're not driven by dollar amounts because we get paid by Medicare and Medicaid one rate per month. So for people who qualify for Medicaid, the program is of no cost to them unless they go for emergent or outside of the network. But we're part of the Lakeshore Health Network, which is a huge network of doctors along the lakeshore. So as long as someone stays in network, they're not going to get a charge. So our program, if people qualify for Medicaid, and that's part of what I do, is I help people determine that they're not going to be charged for the program, and the program listens to what people want.
And that what you're saying now is exactly what the senior citizen wants to hear. Am I going to be able to use some of your services without it breaking the bank?
Right.
Or is it something that is free to me?
Right.
And this gives them an idea of what they can figure on for the future.
Right.
Because seniors don't tell you everything.
They don't. What kinds of things don't you tell us?
All kinds of little things that to them are scary.
Right.
Because they've managed their lives so long that they have relied on themselves.
Right.
And that's whether it's man or woman.
And I think sometimes it's scary to admit that you need that extra help.
Well, if they've taken care of themselves all their life and they're getting up toward the older ages, they still want to take care of themselves.
Right. And that's kind of goes back to one of the things that I love about Life Circles is that you would say we have our hands in a lot of areas in someone's life, which is very true, but we want that person to stay as independent as possible. We don't want to do things for the senior that they can do for themselves. Because we know that if you stay more independent and you're moving your body and doing what you can do, your chances of falling decrease, your chances of getting infection decrease, and your chances of staying at home increase. And that's what most people want to do. They want to stay home and age in their own homes.
They do.
So we can help them to do that. And Muskegon County and the Northern Ottawa County is so lucky to have a PACE program. There are 5 PACE programs, PACE programs in the state of Michigan. Muskegon has had our PACE program for 5 years. So, little Muskegon is very lucky to have such an incredible program like the Life Circles PACE program that can provide help both here at the center, which gives the caregiver a break, and care in the home. We also provide all of the prescriptions, which I think is something that I forgot to tell you. All the prescriptions, we can set those up on a daily basis, like the morning, afternoon, evening in the pill boxes, and we send those right home. And they come back at the end of the week, so we can see if there's any trouble with taking those, or if someone's not feeling good on them. We can figure out what's going on and maybe make some medication adjustments.
And that is something that senior citizens sometimes more often than not, don't get their prescriptions filled because they are expensive.
Right. And if somebody qualifies for Medicaid, and again, we do all of that, we can help determine that. Those medications come home right on the bus. There's no charge for them. There's no copays, no deductibles, no donut hole.
Because I've heard more, well, I'm an oldster myself, and I've talked to enough people in my age groups, and they have admitted that they sometimes, if it's just stubbornness, they don't think they need it and they're not going to take it. On the other hand, when they see the bill for it, they say, there goes my food budget.
Well, and I was going to say, sometimes it's a matter of, do I eat this week or do I take my medicines? And when people are having to make that choice, most are going to want to eat. So
Yes.
those are the people that we can help and take that worry off, because we'll provide the medications. And the income, most people will say, when I first talk to them on the phone, they'll say, I don't qualify for Medicaid. But the income limit is quite high. And it only looks at the person's income, not the household income, but the person's income. And that amount can be $2,163 a month. So that's pretty liberal for a Medicaid program. And then it just depends on if there's a married couple or a single person. But we will help the caller figure out if they are Medicaid eligible. And then we have two Medicaid workers right in this building. So we can get the Medicaid application done very quickly.
Whether you're a first-time jewelry browser looking for an extraordinary engagement ring, a couple celebrating your 60th anniversary, or you're just looking to treat yourself or mark an important event, Prothheim & Swanson Gemworks is proud to offer custom-made selections handcrafted in America. Silver, fine-colored gems, diamonds, and gold jewelry, as well as strands of lustrous quality pearls. From ring and watch appraisals to in-house jewelry design and repair, ring sizing, remounting, to a complete rebuilding, you can rely on them to keep your old favorites looking new. K&S Gemworks, Muskegon's community jeweler. Memories made one at a time.
At Langlois Home Furnishing in Muskegon, we've been serving West Michigan for over 65 years. Langlois is a local family-owned store with national buying power. We carry the largest selection of mattresses from Serta in West Michigan. Plus, we can help with design ideas. We also have a great selection of the latest top brand appliances and HD TVs. Discover what's new for you at Langlois Home Furnishings on Henry Street in Muskegon.
Seniors, they get tight mouths when it comes to that, because, and I heard one in my own family, and this is quite a few years ago, but she said, well, it's either eat or take that.
People aren't going to take their medicines, are they? And we want to make sure that they have the medication to take. Then if they're not taking the medication, we can try and ask them why. And maybe it makes their stomach upset, or maybe it keeps them up at night, or maybe it makes them too sleepy. And so we want to know that so we can make a shift in the medications. Our doctors want to know that. Or sometimes they can't tell us that, but maybe one of our nursing assistants in the center will notice that Mr. Smith is sleeping a lot more or agitated or something, so they can talk to the doctor as well. There's lots of ways to make sure that our participants are doing really well.
And that would be an extremely big help.
Right.
All the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And seniors are a wonderful bunch, and they're growing by the year.
We love seniors, and we love their caregivers, and we know if we can take care of their caregivers, then our seniors can stay in their homes. And part of our program is providing the respite and the kind of that break for the caregiver, because when our participants come in and they're having a great day with us, and we have loads of activities, we go on outings, we go bowling, fishing, we went to the beach, we went to Biker Week one year, They went to Frederick Meyer Gardens, they go to the mall, but we also have lots of music that comes in, arts and crafts, bingo, dominoes. We have loads of things going on.
This place is always busy.
It is.
It's like a beehive.
It's wonderful. I love it.
And I can't blame you for that, Amy. And it's wonderful that you would stop and talk to us today to give us an idea of some more of the things that are being done. And
Well,
you're
I
constantly
appreciate
adding to your menu, as I call it.
We are. We try and provide different kinds of services that people need, different activities. Our services, for the most part, stay the same with the home care, the transportation,
Those
all
are the
of
basics.
the medical. Yep, the prescriptions.
But you've got that dessert menu. That's what I call it.
Yes. Well, the home care, we can do things that other programs can't do. We can add a few desserts. You're right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. Do some outings that people wouldn't normally do. I think it was last year, we even got to go to the beach because some of our participants said, my feet have not been in the sand in 15 years. So our therapists got on the bus, we took some folks down, and they got to walk in the sand. And it was wonderful. They loved it.
Well, they like the out of doors, and they love Lake Michigan.
Right. So we try and do what we can to make sure that they get to enjoy it. Yes.
And the fact that somebody does the driving, they don't have to.
No, and we provide transportation to and from the center and to all medical appointments. So if someone's on dialysis, we'll make sure they get there and home. Any outside medical appointments, but we can do like all the lab work right here. We try and be a one-stop shop. So we have all of the medical appointments, all the lab, like I said, dental, hearing, vision services right here, and anything that goes with that. So there's a lot of services. Someone does have to be, they have to meet a certain level of need.
Yes.
Which means that they have to have some chronic health problems, and we can help determine that. The state makes us have.
Well, that
That's
comes
part
with
of what
age.
the state. Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. And if it isn't one thing, it's another.
Right.
But the fact is that you can get all the help you need right here.
Right.
In your local area.
Yeah, and we can serve all of Muskegon County and northern Ottawa County right now down to about M45. And then in a couple of years, a year and a half, we'll start to serve the Holland area and Allegan County as well. So the program's really growing. We've got lots of big changes coming up, and it's all wonderful, but we're trying to really shield our participants from any chaos that comes with change. We're really making huge efforts to make sure that things stay the same for them as much as possible. So people can call us and get more information about the program. They can stop in and ask for a Life Circles intake person. If we're not available, the social workers someone is happy to give a tour. We'll find somebody.
I'm sure of that.
Yes.
And I'm sure that if they've been listening to us today, they won't be afraid to pick up a phone and give a call.
No, they'll talk to either me or to my assistant, Claire. And again, they just have to call 733-8655.
And they will get one of you.
They will get one of us. And if they don't, they can leave a message and we'll call them back as quickly as we can.
And that, again, you will be willing to call them if you don't have anyone at that instant.
And I do a lot of home visits, so they don't have to come to me. I can go right to them.
And that also is a big help.
Right. We do a home visit, and then if someone's interested in the program, I'll do a Medicaid application if it's appropriate. And then we'll have a nurse and a social worker go out to their home, because part of our program, people do have to be safe in their own home.
Oh, yes.
So we want them to be safe, and then they will come into the center for a day, and again, we'll provide that transportation.
And it gets them out of the home.
Right. And then on that day, they'll meet all the 11, by that point, about 8 different people. The doctors, the nurses, the therapists, recreational therapy, transportation, dietary. There's lots of people they meet, but it's a good day because we want to make sure that the fit feels good to them. You know, that they like the doctors. We don't want to ask anybody to change doctors without meeting the doctor first.
Yeah.
And then our team will look at all of the information gathered. All of the services are provided and driven by an interdisciplinary team, all those disciplines that we just talked about. They all sit down and make sure that we can provide services for that person in the home and here in the center. And if that all goes well, then I'll call them and invite them to join the program, and I'll have them sign paperwork, and we'll get them started that next month. So there's lots of services to be offered. You know, it's really very person-centered, very person-driven, person meaning the participant. We have a whole end-of-life program, so just because someone's health starts to decline, they don't have to disenroll. It's meant to be a lifelong program. So.
And it will be for them.
Right.
And I have to thank you for taking time out from your busy day to come and talk to us so that the public gets to understand part of what this is all about, because it keeps growing.
One of the agencies at Tanglewood Park, correct. Life Circles, one of the 4 agencies here at Tanglewood Park. If people need information, they should just come right in and call us, or come right in, ask for information, or call us at 733-8655.
Life Circles, to provide comprehensive, compassionate, and team-based care to the frail elderly in partnership with their families and caregivers in order to maximize independence and their quality of life. Life Circles provides an alternative to traditional senior care service. Life Circle allows an individual in need of skilled nursing care to remain in their home or community setting and receive quality care from the program. Who is eligible? 55 years of age and older, certified by the state to require nursing home care, ability to live safely in the community, and reside in the service area of Life Circles. Area code 231-733-8686 for further information about Life Circles.
The best way to stay healthy? Exercise your voice. At the new Mercy Health, we believe that carefully listening to you and encouraging you to take an active role in your own health care is an important part of keeping you healthy. So you'll find our extensive network of physicians not only use the latest technology, they focus on what you have to say. Your voice, our expertise. Mercy Health.
Muskegon Area District Library, formerly the Muskegon County Library for the Blind and Physically Handicapped, offering public library books and magazines, both fiction and nonfiction, to visually and physically impaired individuals. With their new location at 4845 Airline Road, they can be contacted at 231-737-6310.
The Village at Park Terrace Senior Living Community, offering beautiful yet affordable 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes as well as 2-bedroom cottages. Rent includes a wide variety of exceptional services, from daily meals shared in the dining room or delivered to your door, to scheduled activities and social events, to 24-hour emergency on-call service. Their expert, caring staff is there to assist you with all of your retirement needs. The Village at Park Terrace Senior Living Community, where you can enjoy the luxuries and comfort of your own home without the work and worry.
Glow Sun and Shades, simply fabulous.
You have been kissed by the sun.